What is going on, guys? This is Elijah from Gridiron International, and today I'll be talking about the Michigan Wolverines versus the Michigan State Spartans in week number 2 of the Big Ten debut. Alright, so as you guys know from the title, I'll be talking about Michigan versus Michigan State, and crazy games this past weekend. In the Big Ten debut. I'm so happy to see the Big Ten finally back after Kevin Warren, the Big Ten commissioner, suspended the league due to COVID earlier in March, and it was crazy. The SEC and the ACC was still going on in the Big 12, and of course, almost every single conference is coming back as well, which that is great news. I know it's a crazy year, but man, Michigan, I think Michigan may have found their quarterback. Finally, Shea Patterson was okay last year, not great. Didn't really do anything against Ohio State, and I think that Michigan has found their quarterback finally. The junior quarterback, Joe Milton. This dude had a great game. Didn't really have a lot of passing yards, but still, the running game was just dominating Minnesota last night. And Michigan State, I don't know what's going on with those guys with Mel Tucker. They lost to Rutgers, and usually you don't really, if you're a Michigan State fan, you're probably worried about Michigan State this year because they lost to Rutgers, and normally teams like Michigan State or like Michigan, they don't really lose to Rutgers, and Rutgers has been bad in the Big Ten ever since they moved up. But Greg Schiano's back, and he's making a statement towards Rutgers, and yeah, once they get recruits in Rutgers is going to be pretty good. And but I think Joe Milton is going to be a great quarterback for Michigan. He reminds me a lot like Cam Newton, and also the offense that they ran last night reminded me a lot like the New England Patriots, with the way they ran with that pistol formation with the fullback on the right, and of course the running back in the back, the pistol offense formation. I think one of the McDaniels on Michigan is related to Josh McDaniels, so I think they have a family ties with Michigan and New England, so I think that's why they're running that offense. And Joe Milton, I think, is going to be a great quarterback, and this year might be the year that Ohio State or Michigan will beat Ohio State. Who knows? It's a little early, I know. All right, I'm going to go through all the stats, the prediction, and then the predictor, and I'll give my opinion on this game at the end. So hopefully, it'll be a short little video. So let's go through the predictor, and the predictor has Michigan by 93.4% over 6.6. That is the predictor, and it'll also be playing at Michigan Stadium, but without many fans, which sucks, and but code reasons. So now season leaders so far after week 1, we got Michigan State's quarterback Rocky Lombardi, pretty cool name. Went 31 for 43, 319 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Not great with interceptions. Joe Milton had a pretty good game, but they were more rushing versus Minnesota than passing, but they still had some good pass plays as well. Had 15 for 22, 225 yards, and 1 touchdown. For Michigan State for running, we got Jordan Simmons, had 14 carries, 43 yards, not really that great. And we got, for Michigan, we got Hassan Haskins, had a pretty good game. Had 6 carries, 82 yards, and 2 touchdowns at first drive of the second drive of the first play. They had that huge run, which was pretty epic. And for receiving yards, we have for Michigan State, we have Jaden Reed, and for 11 receptions, 128 yards, 2 touchdowns. So that's pretty good. And then we got Ronnie Bell for Michigan with 4 receptions and 74 yards. So Michigan likes to run a lot more, and I think Michigan State likes to pass. But let's go ahead and go through the team stats. We have points per game. Michigan State 27, Michigan 49. Points allowed per game. This is where Michigan State struggles on defense. 38.0. Michigan against Minnesota was pretty good. Only allowed 24 points. Total yards. Michigan State 369, while Michigan 478 yards. Yards passing. This is where Michigan State's better. Michigan 319 to 225, and of course, yards rushing, they only had 58. That ain't good. Only had 50 yards of rushing, while Michigan dominated in the rushing game with 253 yards. Yards allowed, defensive-wise, Michigan played okay. They still struggle a little bit on the run game against Minnesota. Yards allowed, Michigan State 276, not bad on defense, while Michigan 326, not great. Yards of passing allowed, pretty good for both sides, but Michigan State has 170 to 197. So for rushing yards allowed, Michigan State 106 to Michigan 129, and Michigan struggled a little bit towards Minnesota's run game last night, but still they still won. Had a few picks and had a fumble for a touchdown. So that's their defense looks good for Michigan. I think this is going to be a low-scoring game because two teams hate each other, and it's a rivalry week. So I think that it's going to be a low-scoring game. But my opinion after watching both games yesterday, I think that Michigan is going to win solely on their quarterback because the running game is going to be dominant in this game. And I think that the final score will be a 1-touchdown lead. And I think it's going to be 31-24 Michigan, and they will have control of the ball majority of the whole game. And I think Michigan State is going to throw the ball a lot, but I think that Michigan will win this game. And if you are a MSU fan or a Michigan fan, let me know in the comments below what you guys think, who's going to win this game. And yeah, I'm just happy Big Ten football is back. And I'm not a Tennessee Volunteers fan, as you guys see. This is totally different from back a long time ago. But anyways, so yeah, let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Will Michigan State rebound after a terrible loss to Rutgers, or will Michigan continue the winning streak, especially against their rival, Michigan State? All right, guys, y'all have a great day. See you guys later. Peace out.